What up? It's your boy Steve from Printing Gang Investments, back with another video. It's another late night one, another market update. I'm gonna give y'all, my Palantir YOLO update. I'm gonna give y'all some of my thoughts going into earnings. We're gonna look at some charts. We're gonna talk about some stock things, some macro things, just sentiment going on into the presidential election. It's gonna be a special YOLO update. So let's get it started. So as y'all can see, my Palantir options, they in the green today. We had that red day today. I had to sell 3 options yesterday. I showed y'all down in the last video. We sold 1 in the gain, 2 at a small loss. I think it was like 18%, 20%. So what did we do? We rolled that risk off. So I got some good buying power off those ones I sold in case things go left on earnings. But we bought this November 8th call for that 50. That's that going for the gusto call. That thing might go to 0 for real. I ain't scared. I had it at 89. It went up. I was up 50%. Played myself. Then those earnings came in, knocked it down about $68, $70. Sold it there. Fell down. I think it was to like an order block fair value gap or something on a chart. It was a good level. Bought it back at 47. Now it's at 51. If Palantir does good on earnings, it's going to do its thing. If not, I'm getting spanked. Then, for the longer term, we got that January 20th, $60. January 16th, 2026, $60 call. You know what I'm saying? That's up, nothing worth even talking about. But, we had to roll off some risk just in case these things go left. So, going into earnings, we got these 4 calls over here. I got a call or 2 on another account. And as you guys can see, I've been buying crazy Palantir shares. Well, not crazy, but every time I win some trades, I try and buy a share or 2. So all the shares I got here are all bought from trading. We got 39 of them so far. We're going to see how far we could take that up. You know what I'm saying? I think I bought like $10, $20 worth of Nvidia with some gains this week. That's what you do. You take your gains, you get cash, you buy stocks with the profits. But what are my thoughts going on into Palantir earnings? So this week we had most of the Max 7. The only people left is Nvidia, if I'm not mistaken. Max 7 did good. They beat. Most of them beat. They crushed earnings. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing, some of the guidance was like some numbers missed or some of the stocks went down. But from a macro point of view, they did pretty good. They held things down. My Apple call, I got to show you guys my Apple call. Still going through it. But Apple held up, you know what I'm saying? Everything missed except the iPhone, but they held up. And then Amazon did like 6-7% today. So that had the market up today. So how do I feel about these Palantir earnings? It's going to be tricky. It's going to be riskier. That's why I had to take some risk off because, a lot of us, me, I'm a day one investor. I was buying it when it was a lot cheaper than it is now. I was buying heavy between like the $7 and $15 range. Most of my position was accumulated in that range. So I wouldn't have the same concerns as a new investor. But for the new investors, there's a lot of valuation risk here. You know what I'm saying? I think our PE's like 100 something right now. Like, let's see what the PE is on Robinhood. On Palantir real quick, man. What they saying the PE is right 244. Yeah, PE is outrageous right now because the stock price rolled up so high. So we got a lot of valuation risk out here. Man. So if we bring in any numbers lower, we're gonna get spanked. That's what was happening before the PE was up here, before we rolled up this much. But I do feel confident that Alex Karp them will be earnings. You know what I'm saying? I think the guidance is going to be good. But what I'm really looking for is that compound annual growth rate, that CAGR. I'm hoping 30%. You know what I'm saying? I heard a lot of bulls say things like, we need 40. We need 45 to justify this price to earnings. And I understand that to justify some of the other metrics as well. But I'm still looking for 30 or better. And from a technical point of view, of course, I would love to see it go up so my call options keep getting money. But if that doesn't happen, it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Because don't get it twisted. It's like, I want it to go up so my call options to keep printing. But if it were to take 20%, I have taken a lot of profits, and I would love to deploy some of that buying power at cheaper levels. But now let's get into some little technical analysis on Palantir. So we was holding this area up here like I showed y'all on the last day. As you can see, some of those order blocks I showed you are gone, but it did hit some of those levels and bounce. I think I was calling out probably the 43 to 42-ish, low 41, 80-ish area, something like that. Check my last video to be sure. I got to check it. But looks like we tested that area. It even broke it a little bit, but wicked right back up into the area of that order block. So if anybody caught that entry, if we beat earnings, that's going to be an excellent entry. There's an old fair value gap here. We're holding this area. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully we could bounce here. From a technical point of view, I'm not necessarily concerned because earnings is on the way, but it's not necessarily the best thing you would want to see from a technical point of view, because I'm breaking below these EMAs. We're holding below them. I got fair value gaps to the downside. So if this bounce point doesn't hold, they got this 40-11 level. That's probably not going to hold. I drew these levels right here at 39. Yeah, it would tank to, like, yeah, 39, 38, 36. And that does make sense. We probably would drop straight down if these earnings tank. So on my chart, I'm looking at this, 36 to 37 range. If we tank any lower than that, I really got to load up. Equilibrium's way down here at like 33, 32. So if we were to get down there, I mean, it would suck for my call options. Don't get it twisted, but I'm going to have to handle business. Because that's how you make money in these markets. You buy when these things tank. Now, it depends on why they tank. If they tank over like some light guidance, Wall Street didn't like a certain number, but the growth story is still intact, that's when you load up. Now, if they say something crazy like EPS missed, crazy, company not growing like they thought, growth decreased or something crazy, which I'm pretty sure they're not going to say, yeah, I looked twice into it. But that's where I'm at with Palantir earnings. So, last thing we need to talk about, we also got this election coming up, people. So with this election coming up, it's kind of a wild card. I kind of hate it. The Palantir earnings is going to be like the day before the election, because it's like, what if we beat and then they don't like who won and we tank? But you know, that's just the risk we got to take. That's another reason why you see me sell some of those calls at a profit. You know what I'm saying? I actually would have liked to double down, on some of the stocks I've been looking at. But with the presidential election, I was like, I might as well wait. For example, remember that IonQ call I was telling y'all about? I was testing the waters out on. Told y'all I bought it at a bad level. Sure enough, I got spanked on that, down 53%. But it was only $50. And I was thinking about, adding right here, but I'm like, presidential election on Tuesday. I'm going to do more research, do a little more research this weekend, see what happened with the election, and probably, load up there. My Rocket Lab call, going through it, it's still flat, you know what I'm saying? I believe in Rocket Lab, but I might have to take that and maybe roll the time out because it's starting to take a long time, you know what I'm saying? Still looking at Oklo. You know what I'm saying? It's a few stocks we still looking at out here. Still got SoFi. Wish I had Robinhood. Then, of course, we got the Mag 7. I got positions in those. I need to get me a Tesla position. I don't know how long it's going to take for it to pay out, but I need to add to my Tesla position, add to my NVIDIA position. Man, it was crazy. Supermicro was capped this week. That is crazy. And I actually made money on the upside on Supermicro and got out. The little Supermicro I got left is getting hit. But it's all good. It's not much. But we got to start watching things like that, in this AI game. That was the first company, I ain't going to say to fall, but, they might get delisted. They might get bankrupt. Talking about the statements cap. Ernst & Young said they didn't even want to sign off on their statement. So, I don't know, man. We just going to keep watching. We're going to keep doing this research. We're going to keep doing this due diligence. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. I'm going to be making y'all some videos this weekend. You know, we'll do some life talk, maybe some more stock talk. I might give y'all another shareholder freestyle. You know, just let me know in the comments anything y'all want to see. It's your boy Steve from Printing Gang Investments. I'm be back in that next video.